Yeah, I'm recording this now. Now, under fourth chapter, now we are going to see the foreign markets. What is this foreign market? How it works? How it will enter in the market? How will it will enter in the market? We'll see this foreign market. We'll see in the foreign market how it works one by one. Now, if you see these foreign markets, you already know that Ethiopian government or Ethiopian country is dependent on mostly 60% on imported items only from China, India. There are different countries which are being part of the imports in this country. Now, how it works, like how this foreign market will work, and what is how they will enter in this foreign market. We'll see one by one. We'll see one by one how it works. And let me annotate this. The market in the foreign market, if you see the definition of foreign market, if you see the definition of foreign market, the market is one country for the trading of securities registered and based in another country. Say, for example, so many American companies are being listed in the Indian stock market. Indian stock market are been so many Indian companies are listed in American companies, American country. Like this, one country may be trading securities in another country, but it is from other countries. So like this, foreign market, they may do the operations in the form of stock market trading, or by importing, exporting, they may do the foreign market operations in different way. So market may involve trading on foreign exchange electronically. Foreign exchange means like you know that if you want to get any imports, you have to convert your birr into dollar. Yeah. So like this, these foreign markets will work with involve the trading of foreign exchange by converting their local currency into foreign currency like dollars. So, or it may involve trading those foreign securities or a domestic exchange. That is one thing. And foreign markets often do not always expose the investors to foreign exchange risk. Always there is a foreign exchange risk under foreign markets because the fights between two countries, say for example India and Pakistan and America and China, they are making trade wars. In that way, the currency values may fluctuate between two countries. Like this, there is always a foreign exchange risk involved under these foreign markets. So how to enter in a foreign market? There are many ways to enter in the foreign market. How do they enter? How do they enter on the foreign market? Wait, is it recording? Yeah, how do they enter in the foreign market? By selling your product or services in another country, you can enter into a foreign market, or you can introduce your company to huge markets like in the form of shares. You can sell your products in the other country, or you can sell your shares in the other country. There are many ways to enter into the foreign market in the form of by selling products to the other country one way, and another way is that by selling your shares to the other country, or by establishing your company in other country. That is or making a tie-up with a local company. So like this, there are many ways to enter into foreign market. So by selling your product or services in other country, you can enter, and you can introduce your company to huge markets by entering into other country, or increase your sales and profits, gain a brand recognition. Say for example, Samsung Mobile is there. How it is been famous in Ethiopia. So Samsung Mobile. So it Samsung Mobile even in India also it is famous. Why? They are entering into the different foreign markets to sell their product. So that's why it is gaining more sales and more profits, gain brand recognition, and reduce the risk for only operating in one market. Say for example, if India is not having Samsung sales are very low in India, but Samsung mobile sales may be more in Ethiopia. So like this, they want to reduce the risk of the operating in one market. If they are selling only Samsung is a Korean company. Let's say, Korean companies say, for example, Japan, Toyota company is there. If they are concentrating only in Japan market may be more or less. They don't know. That's why their Toyota cars been sell in Ethiopia, India, China, wherever, all over the country it is been selling. That's why their risk is very less, because if one country is getting losses means another country may get profit. So that's why they are entering into the foreign market means to reduce the risk only operating on one market. If they operate in one market, they may face the risk. Example, due to economic and seasonal downturns, seasonal basis and economic basis. So one country may be sales may be less and another country sales may be more. So all the way to avoid this risk of operation, they are entering into many countries. They are entering into many countries. So like this, to extend and extend your product life cycle. Product life cycle. If you sell in only one country, then that product's life cycle may get complete, and you may have to produce another new. So whatever the product life cycle is been over in Japan, and same product they may introduce the same product as a new product in Ethiopia. So one country product life cycle is over means the same product can be started by a new product in other country. So like this, they want to extend the product life cycle. That's why they want to enter into a foreign market. Whatever the product life cycle has been expired in their home country, the same product they may introduce in other country with the same features. So like this, the product life cycle may increases. That's why they want to enter into foreign market. When to enter? When they want to enter into the foreign market? Yeah, if you know that competitors are considering entering the same market as you, there are two options. Aim to be first to market, or wait and see how successfully your competitor are as follows. Say for example, Bajaj Transportation is their autos. There are Bajaj Transportations. There are from India. First Bajaj is introduced in the market in Ethiopia. That's why the transportation name itself is a Bajaj. The company name itself has become a name of the transportation. Bajaj. Bajaj is a company name. It's not a transportation name. So it is a Bajaj. After Bajaj, again TVS autos came. So first, who entered into the Ethiopian market? In a Bajaj. Bajaj company entered for a transportation. Next, TVS. Next, Tata. They entered. So that's why if you want to enter first to the market, first you enter. Otherwise, wait and see, because TVS has done like that only. TVS company, whether they succeed or not, they waited. They waited. So Bajaj got a huge success in Ethiopia. Later, TVS Autos came. TVS Autos. That's why there are two options. First, to make the market, you enter first into the market. Later, then after seeing that, if any competitor is entering into the market, if they are successful, then you also enter. So like this is one strategy that when to enter into the market, there are two ways to enter into the market. So scale of entry. Scale of entry means how much, at what range you have to enter. The obvious issue, there is a cost. At what cost they have to enter. Bajaj cost, nearly if you want to buy a Bajaj auto in Ethiopia, if you want to import one Bajaj auto, it is nearly 100,000 birr. It is nearly 100,000 above birr. So now the compared to Bajaj, TVS company autos are very less, because they are making a competitive price. That's why scale of entry, you see the competitive price. So that's obviously there is a cost of entering into the market on a large scale, will require significant resources. So that's why you see this competitor price, and try to enter based on the competitor's price. That is what the scale of entry to enter into a foreign markets. One more is that foreign market entry methods. How do they enter into the market? How do they enter? When you know the scale of entry, at what range you want to enter, what is the cost of the price, product price, and after deciding that, you will need to work out how to you need to work out how to take your business abroad. This will require a careful consideration, as your decision could significantly impact your results because you are entering into other country. There are several market entry methods that can be used. What is that? Number one, without establishing any production units, any companies, just simply export. Just simply export. Say, for example, Ethiopian coffee companies, coffee manufacturing companies, most of them they are exporting. They are not doing any company. They are not establishing any companies in abroad countries, but they are exporting. Simply exporting is one of the foreign market strategy. Simply without doing any manufacturing in the other countries, just you manufacture in the home country and export. That's simple. That is one is the exporting, and one more thing that licensing. Licensing means allows another company in your target country to use the property license. Otherwise, you go to the country and you produce. You go to the country and produce. Say, for example, Bajaj company is there. Bajaj company, they have taken the license to manufacture here. So licensing allows another company to target the country to use the country property, roads, buildings and all. The property in question is normally intangible, like permissions. For example, trademarks, production techniques, patents, licenses will pay the fee in order to allow the right to use a property. Property means the patent right to produce the production in the country, and to patent like a license to use the roads and buildings of that country. So like this, by taking license, you can produce and sell in other market, in other country. So that is another level, another way of entering into the foreign market by taking the license. And one more thing is that franchising. Franchising means like same foreign company. Like a franchising is somewhat similar to licensing in that intellectual property rights are also sold in franchise. However, the rules for how the franchisee carries out business are usually very strict, because, for example, any process must be followed by specific companies must be used in manufacturing. Say for example, franchising means Domino's Pizza is there. Pizza corner. Domino's Pizza. This Domino's Pizza, if you see this, the production process, the material quality, the material size or product size, as per they mentioned that the same thing you have to follow. So just you take a franchisee license from a foreign company, and the same level of production and same product may be manufactured by Ethiopians. By taking the franchisee of a foreign country, they can produce here. I think there's so many China automobile companies have taken automobile companies in Ethiopia. They have taken franchisee to produce China vehicles, China automobile vehicles. They have taken franchisee. So like this, one of the perfect example is that Ethiopian automobiles, many of them are taking a franchisee from Chinese companies to manufacture the China vehicles in Ethiopia. So like this, that is one thing, franchising. By taking the franchising license, they produce the same product in Ethiopia by Ethiopian locals. That is one thing. And joint ventures. Joint ventures means Ethiopian local product plus and foreign company. Joint ventures. A joint venture consists of two companies establishing jointly owned business. One is they have to, because it is very easy. If you type with a local company, then it is very easy to manufacture the product and sell the product in the home country. That's why a joint venture consists of two companies establishing jointly owned business. One of the owners will be a local business, one of the local owner business, and local to the foreign market. And the two companies would then provide a new business with a management team and share the control of joint ventures. Their profits also been jointly shared, and one foreign company, one Ethiopian local company. They directly they join together and they produce the products. This is another way of entering into the foreign market by joining with the local company. That is called joint venture. And foreign direct investments, FDIs. FDIs, foreign direct investments. Foreign direct investments like foreign direct investments FDI, when the directly invest the facilities in foreign market, it requires a lot of capital to cover the cost of the premises. Say for example, China Construction Company, CCC, China Construction Company, CCC company is there. That is foreign direct investment only. China companies, China construction companies, they are coming and they are constructing the road, waterways, airports. So those are all foreign direct investment. Directly they are coming and they are investing in the form of different projects. That is called foreign direct investments. So there are many alternatives like this to enter into the foreign market. And one more thing is that stock market indicators. I already told you, when stock market is going up, when stock market is going down, there are some indicators. What are that? What it is showing indication? Who will show the indication when stock market is up and when stock market is going down? I already told you, many stock market like investors, they are interested about this upward and downward trend. When many purchases, many investors wants to purchase, or many investors wants to buy in the stock market, and it may trend may be upward trend. When many investors wants to sell the shares, that is downward trend, that is bearish trend. Bullish trend, bearish trend, like that there are many trends are there, indicators are there. Let's see one by one. And stock market, you know that stock market indicate in stock exchange. If you see this stock exchange, what is a stock exchange? A stock exchange can be defined as a centralized market for buying and selling of stocks, where the price is determined through supply demand mechanism. Supply demand means more demand is there share for shares, but supply, no one wants to sell but more wants to buy, then there is a bearish trend, upward trend. So that's why a stock exchange can be defined as a centralized market for buying and selling stocks, where the price is determined through, where in stock market the price is determined and fixed based on the demand and supply of the shares. Okay, that is one thing. Next one is that according to the Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956, it is Indian stock market regulation I'm talking about. According to the Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956, which the main law governing stock exchange in India. I have taken India an example here, because here stock exchange act is very inactive here in Ethiopia. That's why I have taken India. Stock exchange means any body or individuals, whether incorporated or not, are constituted for the purpose of assisting, regulating, controlling a business of buying and selling, dealing securities. Securities means shares. So it is maybe assisting or regulating or buying and selling. That is called Regulation Act, Stock Market Regulation Act. So we'll see one by one. What is this next? And stock market indicators. If you see this stock market indicators, the stock market indicator. If you see this, wait, no. Stock market indicators are the quantitative factors that predict the future behavior of the market indices. Market indices means like a index. It will show combination of all the shares. By combining all the shares, whether stock market is moving up, whether the stock market is moving down, that may be shown in an indicator, stock market index, that we can say that. The index, the stock market index. The stock market index is a method of measuring a section of the stock market. Section of the stock market means different sections are there. Automobile sector, automobile sector, telecommunication sector. Mulatu Dele, mute the mic. A stock market index is a method of measuring a section of the stock market. So banking sector stocks, how do, whether banking sector shares are been increasing or downward trend or upward trend, they may see that. So when it is showing the trend of the stock market, that is called stock market index. Stock market index is a method of measuring the sections of the stock market. And the index may be weighted to reflect the market capitalization. Market capitalization means the number of shares times number of shares times share price, current market share price. That is called market capitalization. Say for example, number of shares 1000 today. 1000 shares are there. 1000 shares times today, say for example 10 bir is there per share. So 100,000. 100,000. Tomorrow it may increase. 1000 shares times 20 bir. Share price may increase. So it may become 200,000. Like that, it may increase or decrease. It may increase or decrease like a stock market capitalization. So when market is up, the market capitalization increases. If market is down, the market capitalization decreases because share price is low. So like this, the stock market index may work. And the stock market indices are useful in understanding the level of the prices. Level of the prices means, I already told you, it shows the trend of the share price. It shows the trend of the share price. That's why stock market indices are useful for understanding the level of the prices, whether price level is low, medium or high, it will show. And the trend of the price movements of the market. I already told you, it will show the trend of the stock market price trend. And if you see this here, stock market indices are barometers. Barometer means we can measure of the stock market. Say for example, in India, BSE is there. BSE means Bombay Stock Exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange. It is a Indian stock market index. It will show top 30 companies index. It will show. It is one index in an Indian stock market. BSE means Bombay Stock Exchange. Sensex means sensitivity index. Sensex means sensitivity index. So NSE 50, National Stock Exchange. So these are the two market stock market indicators in India. Two major stock market indicators in India is BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange Sensex, and National Stock Exchange 50. These two are the market indicators in India. It will show market trend of the shares, whether the share price has been moving up compared to yesterday, it is moving up or moving down. It will show that these two indexes will show in the Indian stock market. So their usefulness, if you see this stock market indices, stock market indices, it will show the trend. Yes. So what is the usefulness? Indices help to recognize the broad trends in the market. Broad trends means whether it is moving up, moving down, where it will stand, and in the future where it will move the share price, like this. Indices help to recognize broad trends in the market, and the investors can use the indices to allocate the funds rationally among the stocks. So when stock market is low, when share price is low, every investor wants to invest. So that's why, based on the movement of the price, based on the movement of the index, the stock investors may take the decision. Investors may take the decision to invest their money. So technical analysis use these indicators to predict the futures. This technical analysis we will see coming classes. For investing in stock market, there are three types of analysis: fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and economic analysis. There are T analysis are there. In coming chapters, we are going to discuss in detail this technical analysis. And indices function as a status report of general economy. So based on the economic movement only, stock market will move. If the economy is doing well, stock market will do well. If economic condition is not good in the country, the stock market performance also not good, because investors may fear if economic is down, economic policy is not good, companies may not do well. If companies cannot do well, then profits may come down. When profits come down, share price will come down. So like this, investors may fear to invest. So that's why they'll take the indices as a base to invest their money in the stock market. So this is one thing, usefulness of stock market. And criteria for selecting the stock, for calculating the index. How do they calculate the index? What is the criteria? What is the criteria to calculate the index? What is the criteria to calculate the index? The company should have listing the history on BSE for the last 1 year. I already told you listing. In a primary market, secondary market, when we are discussing, I told you, in primary market, issuing the shares. In secondary market, listing in the stock market. It is available for each and every trader, buyer and seller. So that's why the company first, if you want to calculate the index of the company or share, then company should have listing history in, on BSE. BSE means Bombay Stock Exchange. This is a stock exchange platform in India. So if you want to calculate the index, they should have, company should have listing history on a stock exchange, and the track record, company should have listing history, and one market capitalization. I already told you, number of shares into share price is called capitalization. So company should have 1 among 100 market capitalization on BSE. Means it should be 100 companies list in the stock exchange, and each company should have more than 0.5% of the total market capitalization in the BSE index. Means among 100 companies, your company market capitalization should be minimum 0.5%. Market capitalization means number of shares into share price. So more the share price, more the capitalization. So frequency of the trading, company stock should be traded on each and every trading, and last 1 year. Last 1 year, it should be traded on the stock market. For that only, it should be index may be calculated. And industrial representation, company should be leader in the represents. Why you are sitting on mic, Mutadal? So industrial representation, company should be a leader in the industry. It can be represented. So if automobile industry, if telecom industry. So like this, it should represent one industry like this. It is a criteria for this. Say for example, market capitalization is the total worth of all outstanding issue shares of a company. It represents the total worth of the company. I already told you market capitalization means, market capitalization means number of shares outstanding times market price of the share. So free float market capitalization. Free float market capitalization means except directors and managers shares. Free float market capitalization concept is an index construction methodology. If you want to calculate the stock index, you need to consider the free float market capitalization method. Free float market capitalization method index is that methodology which makes use of free float market capitalization in the stock market, and the total worth of the shares of a company which are available for trading in the open market. Open market trading shares only be considered, not the owners or directors shares. They have to remove owners and director shares from this free float market capitalization. The market capitalization which is available for the public trading in the open trading. Director shares, the auditors like a manager shares cannot be traded on open market. That's why after deducting all those shares, whatever the capitalization is available, that is called free float market capitalization. And we'll see one by one here. Free float market capitalization. You say for example, a company, say for example, let's see here one example. A company of XYZ Limited issues the 10,000 shares, out of which 2,000 shares are by the government, 5,000 shares are by directors of the company, and remaining 3,000 shares are available in open market for trading. Market price of the share is 100. Now, total shares how many? 10,000. Shares held by the government, 2,000. Shares held by the directors, 5,000. And shares available in the open market, 3,000. So now market price, 1,100. Now here the total market capitalization is how much? 10,000 times 100. That is called 100,000. Sorry, 1 million. 1 million. And free float market capitalization, what are the shares available in the open market? Only 3,000. So free float market capitalization by the company is 3,000 times 100. That is 300,000 is a free float market capitalization. So you have to understand, by eliminating the shares by the government, shares by the directors, whatever the shares left, that is called free float market capitalization. So stock market index must be calculated based on free float market capitalization only. So that you should understand this. So that's what one. Here, how many are there? Okay. Okay. Still 5 minutes time is there. It may get stopped. And calculation of the Sensex. I already told you stock market index calculation, Sensex calculation. If you see, there is a formula for calculating the Sensex. Sensitivity index means market index. What is this? Sensex, sum of free float market capitalization of 30 major companies. They are taking 30 major companies times index value in 1987. In India, they are taking the 1978-79 market index as a base. From there, they are comparing by market capitalization value in 1917 when compared to market value in 1879, 79 and market value in 1979 and sum of free float market capitalization. By taking this, stock market index may be calculated how many points the stock market is increasing, how many points the stock market is decreasing. So here one example I have given here. If you say, for example, say for example, BSE Sensex, if you see this, company X has 10,000 outstanding shares, out of which 5,000 are available for trading. Means free float is 5,000. Share price is 100. 5,000 times X company. X company total market capitalization. Calculation of market capitalization. This is total market capitalization. This is free float market capitalization. Company Y, 5,000 outstanding shares, of which 2,000 shares are held by promoters and remaining 3,000 are free float. Means here how many shares are free float? Here 5,000 shares are free float and here 3,000 shares are free float. So what is the share price? 50. Now this is total market capitalization. X 10,000 shares times 100 market price, that is 10,000 times, like nearly 1 million. Now Y 5,000 shares total market capitalization, share price 50. So that is this total market capitalization 250,000. Now you come to free float market capitalization. What is a free float market capitalization? X is 5,000 shares. 5,000 shares times 100 per share. So 500,000. And Y 2,000 shares is free float market capitalization. Market price 50. So 100,000 is free float market capitalization. So now by taking this free float market capitalization, we can calculate. Now we can calculate the Sensex. Here the sum of the free float market capitalization of the X and Y is 5,000 plus 500,000 plus 100,000. Total how much free float market capitalization is 6,000. So assume that market capitalization during 89-79 is 500,000. Now formula you can apply. You can apply the formula. Free float market capitalization, that is 6,000, 5,000 plus 1,000, 6,000 times free float market cap points, index points in 1979, 100 by 78, 89, 79. Their market capitalization is 500,000. Means 120 points. Means compared to 79, 89, 78, 79. The market capitalization or market index, Sensex market stock market index is being increased by 120 points. 120 points, the stock market is been increased compared to 78 and 79. 120 points, the stock market is upward by 120 points. So like this, we have to calculate the stock market index, how many points the stock market is been increased and decreased. That is what the stock market index calculation. And common indicators in the US market. In US market, DJIA, one of the stock market indicators, the Standard and Poor, one of the stock market indicators in America, NASDAQ composite index. These are the different stock market indicators in the American market, that you can see this. And if you see the China market, China stock market indicators, Shanghai and SZSE component, China A50. These are the various stock market indicators in China. We already discussed in Indian stock market indicators like BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange. Like this, there are different stock market